sun began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain in the desert.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and who also will well. Peace and salutations to those of the hopeful elect. I just want to do a lesson pretty much going into how America, also known biblically in the scriptures as Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon, all right, America is going to be utterly clean, dissolved, okay? And how's the Lord going to do that? How's the Lord going to utterly dissipate the landmass of America? The Lord is going to do that via the thermonuclear missiles, all right? That is the reason why, or the true purpose of the missiles being created, not for a man's gain, but for the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, because Babylon the Great is a wicked nation, all right, and it was set up and established upon the blood of the Israelites, which are you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Seminole Indians, all right, and the people that established this wicked nation upon, you know, the blood of the Israelites are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. All right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the one nation that the Lord hates the most. Okay, Esau, Edom. All right, they established America. All right, so the Lord is going to destroy that land. Okay, this land here, Babylon the Great. Now the missiles is also going to touch other parts of the earth, all right? But America is a focal point because this is the, this is the virgin daughter of Babylon. This is the great whore which sitteth upon many waters, and the Lord is going to make an example, all right? Because this land is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, all right? And what did the Lord do to Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah? All right, the Lord plagued Egypt. All right, the Lord sent many plagues upon the foundation of Egypt, and then Sodom and Gomorrah, the Lord utterly burnt it up. Okay, I'm gonna get a quick precept. All right, and America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, which that means they're doing the same wickedness. All right, and worse than these ancient kingdoms that the Lord destroyed. Okay, this is 2 Peter chapter 2, and there's context, but I want to get to the point. Okay, verse 6, it says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after shall live ungodly." Okay, so Sodom and Gomorrah is an example, all right? And when you go over to that land, all right, there's nothing but sulfur, all right? And what resembles building structures, but the building structures have been turned into nothing but sulfur, okay? And in that land, it's the highest, purest concentration of sulfur that you can find anywhere on the earth is in that land where the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, now that was an example because the wicked acts that Sodom and Gomorrah was doing. All right, so how much more is the Lord going to make an example out of America, which America is greater and worser and wickeder than Sodom and Gomorrah? All right, they have a more technology. Okay, they can actually give you fake breasts they can chop off your rod and do all this other wickedness. All right. It has surpassed the deeds of Sodom and Gomorrah. So that's why the Lord is going to make another example. Okay. And in the kingdom, during the kingdom of heaven, when it's established upon the earth, all right, that landmass of America is always going to be remembered. All right. As an example. Okay. Just like you can go over there to the landmass where Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities. They was left an example. Okay. Let me actually get the word for example. All right, because in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be left a memorial. Okay, so the word for ensample is a Greek word G5263, hypogama, a sign suggestive of anything, the delineation of a thing, representation, figure, copy, an example for imitation of a thing to be imitated, for a warning of a thing to be shunned. So that's what America is going to be. It's going to be a warning of a thing to be shunned. Why? Because when you set up a wicked kingdom, all right, the Lord is going to utterly obliviate you. Okay. And that's why the America is going to be shunned, because all right, during the kingdom of heaven, America is going to be obliterated. Okay. Let me get Job 20, because it tells you. This is Job 24. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? All right, because hey man, the Lord allow everybody to have their chance at ruling. Okay, and everybody, I would hone in on Esau Edom. Esau Edom, he has access to the scriptures. He even took the scriptures to him own self. All right, he said that America was built off the foundation of the scriptures, which that's false. Okay, and they twisted the scriptures and gave you plantation Christianity. All right, which is a preaching of another idol. All right, so this devil has a lot to pay for, and because he have taken the scriptures upon himself, now he's going to be judged even harshly. He's going to be judged according to everything that he broken within the scriptures, which is everything in its entirety. Okay, that's why the destruction of Edom is going to be so grandiose, that after 1,000 years in the kingdom of heaven, is the only nation that's going to be exterminated. All right, Job 20:6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Yeah, because there's going to be no remembrance of Esau Edom on the earth. Okay, the only remembrance that's going to be left is going to be the landmass of America, which after the thermal destruction, the landmass of America is going to be nothing but a desert. Okay, a desert wasteland. All right, but even then, there's going to be no you're not going to be able to tell, oh, this is where California was, this is where Las Vegas was, or any. You're not going to be able to tell anything. It's just going to look like a giant desert. Okay. Let me get a quick precept. This is Isaiah 34. And the destruction of Babylon of America was also prophesied in the Old Testament. Okay. As well as the New Testament, showing you that all the prophets was seeing the latter end. They were seeing the same thing. All right, the return of Yahushua Hamashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and also the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven. All right, so the prophets, they've seen all the same similar visions. Okay, of the latter end, concerning the latter end. Isaiah 34 and Well, what's a good place to start? Isaiah chapter 34, and I'm going to start at 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. All right. And even in the times we're in now, okay, the Lord has set up prophets globally. All right. With the 100% truth, so all these nations are supposed to be hearkening unto the words of the Lord. All right. But the only ones that are going to hearken and actually benefit from the words of the Lord are the 1/3 of Israel, that small portion that's elected to be delivered in these end times. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. So the Lord is furious with all nations, especially Esau, Edom, but also 2/3 of the nation of Israel that are in a heathen-like mindset, in a heathen-like spirit, that don't want to hearken into the ways of the Lord. It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Yeah, because the Lord's determination is to gather the nations. That's what the scriptures say. All right. And the Lord is gathering all the nations and their armies in the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat in the Middle East. All right. So when World War III take place, Yahweh is going to make his grand return, and he's going to wage war with these armies and destroy them. All right. Verse 3, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Yeah, because during this time, the missiles is going to be let off. All right. And all these nations that have been set their missiles in array against America, all right, in this World War III battle, they're going to go ahead and push those missiles, all right, in the heat of World War III among Yahweh and the angels returning. So it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Now that's speaking of the mushroom cloud, okay? That is a result from the thermonuclear missiles. And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So the sword is speaking of the ICBM, which will be bathed in heaven, all right, in trajectory towards Idumea, which is a Greek way of saying Edom, okay? And we know that the beauty of Esau's stronghold in the earth is Babylon the Great. All right, because Esau, he invested so much witchcraft in America to be an influence in the earth, to spread his wickedness. All right, so again, the Lord is going to cause those missiles to come down upon Idumea as an example. All right, just like in Sodom and Gomorrah, but this is going to be on a grander scale. It says, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And who is the people of the Lord's curse? All right, it's Esau, the so-called white man. All right, the nation of Edom. All right, the only nation that's allotted to be eradicated. Verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and Bozrah is the chief place in Edom. Okay, the chief place of Edom. All right, and what is the modern day Bozrah? America. It says, in a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Verse 7, the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance. All right, because Yahweh Shai, all right, is going to put back the fear of his name within the earth. All right, because these people don't fear the living power. Yahweh Shai, the power of Isaac, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, these people don't fear, all right, the God of the Bible. Neither do they know his ways. Okay, so these people are living a perverse life, all right, on the earth, all right, in pure wickedness and destruction. All right, so the Lord is going to get his vengeance, especially on the nations for what they have done to the nation of Israel. It says, in the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. All right. For the controversy of Zion. Verse 9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone. All right. That brimstone goes into that sulfur. All right. Because the nuclear missiles is going to turn the all the rivers, you know, the Mississippi River is going to dry up. All these different bodies of water in America is going to be dried up and turned into dust, all right, via those missiles. It says, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. Verse 10, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. And that's not literally speaking forever, but it's going to be for a period of time. For generation to generation, it shall lie waste. All right. So that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, generation upon generation for eternity. That the landmass of America is going to be a wasteland. None shall pass through it forever and ever, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. All right, and these are doleful creatures, you know, unclean, beasts and creatures are going to dwell on the land of America after it's turned into a wilderness. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. Yeah, the Lord shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion, meaning you're not going to know what is what. All right, after those missiles get done with America, you're not going to know where any of the states was. You're not going to know where Texas or Idaho or New York was. It's just going to look like a giant mess. All right, it's going to look like nothing but dooms and sand. All right. Verse 12. Oh, well, that's pretty much done on that. All right. So, hey, America's going to be, laid there as an example, as a memorial, as what will happen to a nation if you ever decide to, establish a wicked society. All right. That evidence is going to be there, man, for forever. Let me get another precept. All right, because the scriptures speak about the lake of fire. All right, that's speaking of America. All right, the whole landmass literally on fire. All right, because these nations are going to shoot all their missiles, all their artillery. You know, the scriptures speak about 200 million warheads are going to touch down upon Babylon, man. All right. Let me get another precept. This is Job chapter 2. And I'm going to start at 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. And that's what the Lord commanded his servants to do, to warn our people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, natives, Seminole Indians, all right, those Israelite foreigners that may look like another nation, but your spirit, beareth witness with the scriptures, that you are indeed an Israelite, despite what your outward appearance may look like. All right, the Lord is calling out, to warn our people about the day of the Lord's judgment, because the Lord is giving our people ample time, to repent, all right, and leave off from the ways of this world, or the wicked ways of this world. All right, but 1/3 is the only one that's actually going to take heed, all right, and hearken. So I'm going to continue to read. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right, we see World War III speeding up. Okay, we see pushing the MOB, All right, the microchip, which is indeed the mark of the beast. All right, and that lets you know that the prophecies that the destruction, all right, is nearer than what we believe, man. Okay, and those that take that chip when E makes that thing mandatory, all right, you're going to be reserved unto that nuclear fire, okay, because that's going to be the punishment for taking the chip. That's why the chip comes first, then World War III. So I'm continuing to read, you know, or shall I say the chip comes first, then the missiles, okay. So I'm going to continue to read. It says, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. All right, and when you read Joel, the 2nd chapter, this whole chapter is likening the nuclear missiles unto the Lord's army. All right, because those missiles are the Lord's army. So I'm going to continue to read. It says, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like. Yeah, because those missiles, the nuclear missiles, all right, this is the only time where the missiles were going to be created and used ever. All right. Once the missiles are used for the Lord's purpose, okay, which the Lord put the spirit on Esau to even make the missiles. The Lord gave E the knowledge and how to do it. Once the missiles are used, there's never going to be no missiles ever. All right, for eternity. All right, because they was used for a purpose, and then once the kingdom of heaven is established, all right, then that's it. Okay, it's going to be Israel ruling, and these nations are not going to learn war. That's what the scriptures say. So it says, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Yeah, speaking of the tail of the missile which propels it. Okay, a fire devoureth before them. Yeah, when they touch down, and behold, them a flame burneth, and behind them a flame burneth. Yeah, the tail. It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them. Yeah, because America is a fruitful society. You know, people's, you know, eating, you know, drinking, giving into marriage. You know, people's living their lives. It says, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Okay, so America is going to look perfectly fine. All right, but then within the span of an hour, America is going to totally be on fire, the whole landmass. All right, the Lord is literally going to erase America, all right, from the face of the earth. All right, and what's going to be left, it tell you, it's going to be a wilderness, man. All right, and the only thing that's going to dwell there is doleful creatures. All right, and it's going to be forever a memorial in the kingdom of heaven for us to, you know, to remember that bitter captivity in which the Lord delivered us from, and also an example of those that should set up a kingdom or try to, you know, what will happen to you, man. All right, and Esau, this devil, he actually went over there to the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, and pretty much they found out that the scriptures is true, but yet this devil is so proud and wicked, he's still going you know, test the Lord anyway. But it's all good because the Lord set Esau up to do that. All right, just so the Lord could show his power. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, and I'm gonna begin to close it out. Jeremiah chapter 16, I'm gonna start at 14. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Because we have a high holy day, the Passover, in which, you know, we are commanded to observe the Passover. Okay, but I'm gonna continue to read. It says, verse 15, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I have given unto their fathers. All right, so it says Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he had driven them. So it's going to be a new high holy day, and it's going to go into this deliverance that we're in right now. All right, the great deliverance, in which the Lord is going to empty out the whole host of heaven when he returns, all right, upon the face of the earth to wage war with all the nations all at once, and to deliver the nation of Israel from the hands of Esau, Edom, as well as directing those nuclear missiles to destroy America, man. All right. So these great events, all right, is about to take place soon, man. All right, but leading up to those missiles being let off and Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus, returning, all right, the Lord is going to plague this place. You know, this place is going to be utterly, jacked up, man. Like the book of Eli, like the road. All right, many people is going to be starving of famine and dying and different pestilences. All right, and then at the end, you know, the sky is going to get dark. Those missiles is going to scatter the sky. Then Yahweh Shai is going to return in the midst of all that, you know. So, hey, man, hey, these people, all right, that are enemies of the Lord, man, hey, man, it's going to be a terrible day, man. All right, even for the elect, it's going to be a terrible day. All right, but the elect is still going to have that that hope to be delivered, you know, for doing the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, and you know, enduring into the end, keeping the faith, you know. And in the kingdom of heaven, all right, the elect is going to be exalted, all right, for putting off the ways of this wicked society, man. All right, coming out of this hellhole, man. All right. So, you know, during that new Passover, you know, the elect is going to be, you know, right along with Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, but the elect are going to be, you know, camaradered, if I'm saying that word wrong. But they're going to be, you know, acknowledged, you know, for, standing up for righteousness, for standing so stiffly for the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, for the ones to be delivered. Because 2/3 of Israel is going to get caught up in that judgment. All right. So, yeah, there's going to be the new high holy day. All right. So, Babylon, America, which you go into that word America, it means bitterness. All right. The Lord is going to make this place an example. And then there's going to be a high holy day, you know, to reflect on, you know, the deliverance and also the hard bondage in which we have to serve. Okay, so, you know, this thing, hey, man, this is written in stone. It's going to happen, man. All right, and it's going to happen in our lifetime. So with that being said, you know, seek the Lord while he may be found, you know, and call upon him while he is near. All right, so with that being said, I want to say, call halal Yahweh Shema Shai Bashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who also will well. Peace and citation to those of the hopeful elect. Shalom and Abba Babal.